What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Obsession Podcast. I am Mike Stadler.
I am Carl Bethke.
What's going on, Carl?
Another fun-filled day here at the BMR, buddy.
You know it. You
That's
know
right.
it. Getting rained on everywhere but here.
Everywhere.
That's what I'm talking about.
I can't believe it's going completely around your.
Well, that's just how it does it.
Yeah,
It's against me. But I will win.
Oh yeah, I know that. I know that. Can't hold a good man down, brother.
We had a question come into us here a while back from Scott.
Oh, Scott.
Scott wants to know if we believe in the shift in whitetails.
Whitetail shift. 100% I believe in it. Not gonna
Carl,
lie.
what is a shift? Maybe some people have never heard of it.
So the whitetail shift, there's whitetail summer, usually whitetail bucks summer in a different area than they spend their falls. And why do they do that? Majority of the time they need open, free-flowing air, places where they're not going to be hitting their velvet going through in the summertime. Also good food location, good water location. But they have bachelor up usually, and a lot of the mature bucks will just be by themselves, bigger, older deer. But usually there'll be 1 or 2 or 10 bucks together.
Yeah.
You know, you've all seen that in the bean fields. And then come fall, so when their velvet starts to dry and they begin to rub and get the velvet off, where they need to be changes. They go to thick undergrowth areas, you know, deep dark holes, I guess I would say sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. Where they don't have to, you know, they can take their aggressions out, where does somewhat are close frequently, food areas or stuff like that. They move a little bit closer to the does, but they still maintain their distance from the does because they don't want to deal with the social pressure of does and fawns.
Yeah. Their temperaments change throughout the year.
Correct.
That's why they tolerate
Testosterone levels jump.
other bucks being in bachelor groups early. You know, and if people are going to say, well, how come all these people watch these deer from year to year at their places? Most of those people on TV have huge chunks of property.
Yeah.
So they probably have, obviously some of them do stay there, it's just on another location on the property.
Yes.
You know, like Carl's talking about. Our deer roam around, don't usually summer on our properties.
Plus we have small
We have
properties.
small properties, and I don't want them there in the summer anyway.
No.
So it's a lot easier to bump them out of there in the summer.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, I agree with it. I believe in it 100% because we see it every year.
Yeah. If you're lucky enough to have property that holds certain bucks year round, that's very, very rare. Mm-hmm. And I know Scott, and I know for a fact that he has a couple deer that he's told me about that actually stay on his property. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the rarest things I've seen ever. You know, guys, the majority of our deer.
Yeah, I've had bucks that were here every year for a few years.
Yeah, yeah.
But they didn't stay here.
No.
They just came back here.
Correct.
Every year.
Yeah, and that, well, we've seen that too on my property too. You know, where certain bucks come back to the area. If they made it through last year, they come back in the fall to the same area and about the same time. That's one thing you can also see. I had one buck in particular, a buck I called I, when I was hunting near my house. That deer would come onto my property every year, October 23rd, 22nd, 21st. And he was gone by October 31st. Mm-hmm. And you could live and die by that. That's how consistent he was for 8 years. So, the shift is a real thing, in my opinion. It's something that you should look forward to as a hunter.
Yeah.
And you can start actually, if you document it or watch it enough every year, you'll be able to hunt certain bucks in certain areas year after year. That's what I think about the whitetail shift.
Yep, I agree in it. I believe in it. I mean, I watch it happen every year. I've had bachelor groups of bucks here early.
Yep.
And they'll all go away.
Mm-hmm.
I won't have any of them on camera for a month or better. and they'll all trickle back in.
Yep.
You know, not together.
Right.
But all of a sudden, oh, there's that one. There's that one. You know, it's happened every year since I've owned this. So.
Well, last year the buck you shot, Flyer, he was in a bachelor group in a couple of pictures.
Yeah, we had all those bucks were together at that time.
And then they all came through later in the fall, but obviously he was by himself when you killed him, which was October 29th.
Yeah, and he was gone for some time at that point too. Hadn't seen him.
Yeah.
And a picture of him when he came back. Usually they'll come back.
Phil's here behind the camera. I got my wife here.
And then
If they're there early, they'll probably be there late. At
Yeah.
least at some point they will touch base with that property again.
Yeah.
Because they're probably going to have felt secure there. They know it.
Yeah.
They know where they're going there.
I think a lot of it has to do with your terrain too. You know, where you're actually living. You know, my area, if you go to my area where my land is, there's farmland, but there's a lot of woods and hills and ridges. And the deer kind of, you know, transition through there. But you come to Mike's property here where he's got a lot of farmland around and then not as much cover. Those deer go from like cover spot to cover spot to cover spot. And the bucks, once they separate, they start doing their rotation. And they'll fight to hold territory or does, either way, however you look at it. That's a good time to be in the woods.
That's correct, sir.
We appreciate the question, Scott.
Yeah.
Hopefully that answered your question. Yes, we believe in the shift. We think it's an important part of the rut itself, the rut time throughout the year. So basically for us, we're talking like late September through mid-November. That's important to watch that shift time. And if you guys want to check out the podcast, you can check out the podcast at Google, Apple, Amazon, iHeart,
RSS.com.
and Spotify.
And watch us on YouTube.
Check us out on YouTube.
Click and like.
Yeah, click and like. If you want to subscribe to the channel, hit the Reaper in the lower right-hand corner. We appreciate each and every one of you.
Later.